Hi peoples, my name is Tiago Silvestre, the host of this channel where we talk about Commander and Modern. And today it's Commander Day, so I will be showing you the top 10 new cards for Commander coming from Modern Horizons 2. Without further ado, let's go. So guys, let's start this list by showing you honorable mention. Okay, I'm cheating, but just one more card. This honorable mention is Cursed Totem and 2 mana artifact that says activated abilities of creatures can't be activated. So this can shut down some commanders and some good creatures, and only for 2 mana you can shut down some great decks, and of course your opponents will try to destroy this artifact, but while it's not destroyed your opponents will have a tough time, at least the opponents that play with some cards that have activated abilities. So to start the list of the top 10 cards from Modern Horizons 2 is Moderation. Moderation is an enchantment for 3 mana, 1 generic, 1 white and 1 blue, that says that you can't play more than 1 spell each turn, and when you cast a spell you draw a card. So basically you limit yourself to 1 spell each turn, but you draw a card on each spell that you cast. So what you can do with this enchantment is play a spell on every turn, so in 1 rotation you will draw 1 card in your upkeep and 4 cards, 1 of each turn. So in a rotation you will draw 5 cards in total. This can be very good in certain decks that has flash or instants. The next card is Synthes Harvest Hand. So this is a legendary enchantment creature for 2 mana, a green and a white, that says that you can cast enchantment spell, you gain 1 life and draw a card. So this can be your commander, and only for 2 mana, so at turn 2 you can have this in play. This ability is basically the Tatiova, but instead of lands are enchantments. It's more difficult to play more than 2 lands in the same turn, but with enchantments, if you have low cost enchantments, you almost are drawing 2-3 cards a turn and gaining 3 life every turn. On the same theme of enchantments, we have Sanctum Weaver for 2 mana, a 0/2 enchantment creature that taps and add X mana to your mana pool, where X is number of enchantments you control. You can play Synthes and Sanctum Weaver on the same deck, you probably will be, because this Sanctum Weaver will give you a ton of mana. And this card is very good on an enchantment deck. Next we have Damn for 2 black mana, a sorcery that destroys a creature, and that creature cannot be regenerated, but it has Overload for 2 generic and 2 white. Basically you will wipe the board, so you will destroy each creature, and each creature cannot be regenerated. So this card, it's Devour in Shadow combined with Wrath of God. That's two cards in one card. It's very good because if you need to board wipe, you have a board wipe. If you need to only spot removal, you can only destroy that creature that is threatening you. The downside, it is at sorcery speed, the spot removal, but you gain the diversity of destroying all creatures or only one creature. Next we have Doughty Voidwalker. So for 2 black mana, a 3/2 creature that has shadow, so probably will be unblockable. And if a card will put in the opponent's graveyard from nowhere, instead you put a void counter on it and exile it. And then you can tap, sacrifice this creature, then you choose a card your opponent exiled with a void counter on it. You can play that card without paying the mana cost. So you know that you can play the biggest thing that comes in your opponent graveyard, and you can play it for free. So you can make your opponent discard it, you can destroy it, you can go through your opponent's deck and put in the graveyard, because Doughty says that a card is put in your opponent's graveyard from anywhere. You go with your imagination to put cards in your opponent's graveyard, and then you will get that card and play it. Not only creatures, you can play any card that your opponent will have in their deck. Any card. And you know what you can do better? It's bring this creature back from graveyard and sacrifice it and get another card from your opponent without paying their mana cost over and over again. How about the next one? That is Harmonic Prodigy. A 2 mana card, 1 red, for a 1/3 human wizard with prowess. But the important part is, if an ability of a shaman or another wizard you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. So there are many shaman and wizard triggers that you can hit with this. You can see on the screen so many wizards and shamans that can double trigger only if you have this Harmonic Prodigy on the battlefield. There are many shaman and wizard cards in the history of Magic the Gathering, so search for your decks if you have shamans and wizards. I guarantee you have a very nice sensation when your shaman and wizard double triggers. The next one is one more sword to the family of swords, and is Sword of Art and Home. And like the others, is 3 mana artifact equipment that equips for 2, and equipped creatures get +2/+2 and protection from green and white. Equipped creature that deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target creature you own, then search your library for a basic land card and put both cards on the battlefield under your control. So basically you will ramp and blink. A similar card to this is Sword of the Eminist. Sword of Eminist only gives you +1/+1 and doesn't give you protection, and the land that you searched enters the battlefield tapped. But Sword of Eminist costs 2 instead of 3, and you only need to attack, you doesn't need to deal combat damage. This new sword gives you protection from white, that's very good. From green, it's okay, but it blinks that you can abuse, like the ramp. So I don't know which one is better, and depends on the deck, but I say that you can play both in your deck. So almost at the finish line, but we have 2 more cards, and the next one is Urza Saga, an enchantment land that isn't a saga, it's a Urza Saga. I don't know why this is an Urza Saga and not a saga, but it's okay. So at the turn you play Urza Saga. Urza Saga has an ability that adds 1 generic mana, that's okay. On the second turn you gain an ability that you can, for 2 mana and tapping, you can create a construct artifact that gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. And on the third turn you search your library for an artifact card with mana cost 0 or 1 and put into the battlefield. Then you will have to sacrifice Urza Saga. So this is for 3 turns. You can have a generic mana, then you don't have it anymore. Why this is good? Because you can tutor basically for an artifact with 0 cost or 1 cost. And I know what card do you thinking? You thinking of Sol Ring? Everybody will gonna search for a Sol Ring. You will have Jeweled Lotus 2, or the new Soul Talisman, that is a delayed Sol Ring. But you with this Urza Saga, you will have the consistency of having a Sol Ring or a Jeweled Lotus, so that's very nice. And the last one is Yavimaya, Candle of Growth. So this land is new, but the ability is not new. Each land is a forest in addition to other land types. We already have that for swamps, and now we gain it for forests. You know, you can abuse this with Forest Walk, for example. There are some good creatures with Forest Walk, but I mean, all your lands are forests, you can abuse it with Arbor Elf. I don't know if you have a Maze of Heath, you can do the ability on 2 attacking creatures. I don't know, you can abuse it with many different ways, just use your imagination, but this card is very, very powerful. So if you like my top 10, give a like on this video, and if you have any card that should go in this list, please comment down below, and see you on the next video. Bye!